Renee, welcome to the I Sigma On Air podcast, where I think you're the hardest working person at the conference this year.
I don't know about that.
Well, I know I had 3 presentations, and then I looked at your schedule and I went, I had the light schedule.
Yes.
So how do you get on this many slots?
I don't know. Nate called me in December, thankfully in December, and asked very nicely if I would do 3 this year. Last year I did 2, and I thought that was hard.
Right.
And then after Shred School, which was in November, he called me in December and said, I really have a big favor to ask. And I took a deep breath and I said yes, because I don't know how to say no.
Right. I understand that challenge.
Even though I was definitely freaking out on the inside already. Yeah.
So for those who might not know you, because I think my mother's watching right now,
That's
the
awesome.
live stream.
Hi, Mom.
Yes, say hi to Mom. So let's go back in your story, because if somebody doesn't know who you are, and a lot of people in the industry do, because you speak 3 times and you've been around forever, and you're a corporate partner, and so a lot of people know who you are, and you're just a rock star in general.
You're too kind.
But if somebody doesn't know you, tell us your story about how you got into this crazy industry and what you do, and give us the background a little bit. Give us the backstory.
Okay. Well, I work for Data Security Incorporated, which had its 40th birthday in December. So we are special in that we design, manufacture, sell, and support digital data equipment. But our equipment so we do all those things, and most of our competitors just do one, or
Right.
they outsource something. We do all of that in Lincoln, Nebraska. So we're special that way. And then all of our products are geared towards the highest specification of standards for data destruction. So for the most part, the National Security Agency. So that's what we do in a nutshell. 26 years ago, I started as a sales rep and worked my way up through sales management to project management to yada, yada, yada. And now I'm the chief operating officer. So now it's my baby.
Okay, so there's a whole bunch of story in there.
There's a lot of story in there.
Okay, so
there's
when you
also family layers in there too. I
Right, so
got married
that's-
to the boss.
Okay, so before you were a sales rep there as the starting place, 40 years ago, whose company was this?
My husband now.
Yes.
His older brother started it 40 years ago.
His older brother.
Yes, his older brother. He is an entrepreneur. He is very good at coming up with businesses, getting them off the ground, and then handing them off to be run. So when I started, his brother Eric, my now husband, was running data security at the time, and so I worked for him.
Okay, but wait. There's something good here. There's some good story here. So you're this sales rep who comes in and gets a job.
Yep.
And
I actually hated him at first.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, not hate. Hate's a strong word.
Hate's a strong word.
I didn't hate him, but he was my boss, and he had a dry sense of humor, and I didn't get that he was making jokes. It took me a little bit to get to know him. It didn't take that long. I think we were dating within a year, maybe 2.
Wow. So you guys now, within a year, you're dating.
Or 2. I'd have to go back and do the math.
Yeah, it's a while back.
It's a while back.
Right. So you 2 start dating, but you're building this company, which has already been around for a bit. But where was it when you came in? What was the essence of the company when you started?
We were still very small
Okay.
when I started. We were probably a $6 million company, 6 to 8 million, and then I was actually the top salesperson. I broke everybody else hated me because I just kept outselling them. I was the first person to sell $1 million, first person to sell $2 million, yada, yada, yada. And eventually, as we grew, and then eventually I took over as a company we grew, and we have other companies too. So my husband is now the president of all of our companies. He stopped being the president of data security and moved to president of all of our companies.
Right.
And I took over the trajectory of data security. And so as we grew, we also physically grew. We had to move buildings. We're no longer in the same building as each other. So I have kept... when I took over, we were probably a $10 million company, and now we're a $20 to $25 million company. That is tooting my own horn just a little bit.
That is a good horn to toot. So you have grown this company. So I was thinking about it the other day, and I went, well, why are you here? I know that because you're you said government security, like NSA, kind of that kind of stuff. That's your kind of product base. So what causes you to come here and actually be a corporate partner here?
Yeah, I
What's
think
the
it was.
connection?
I'd have to go again. Time flies, right? So easily 15 years ago, maybe 18. Bob Haskins,
Yep.
with Gigabyter, he was getting a product tested by the NSA, and we lived in that space. So that's how we met Bob. And Bob became a dear friend of ours, and so
Right.
he introduced us to NADE and Bob Johnson way back then, and
okay.
said, "You need to know these guys. They know the NSA. They're my connection to the NSA." And so we just kind of all worked together and collaborated. And I believe in this industry. And even then with Bob Johnson, we were able to bring value in regulations and
Right.
connections to the government, NIST and the NSA. So it's always been a good collaboration for easily 15 years, maybe 18 or 20 by now.
So within because I know you're a corporate partner, but you're more than a corporate partner. But like, do shredding companies and data security companies or record storage companies buy your equipment then, or do they resell it? Like, what's the connection around here?
Yeah, buy our equipment. So
Okay.
we sell our equipment for people to have and use. So we love this industry and support it because there are companies who can't afford to buy our equipment. So they need to buy through the seller, right? Or through the service provider. And we need that.
Right.
We believe in the data protection for whoever it is. And we know not everybody can afford to own their own equipment. So we're supporting you guys in that we want our devices in your warehouse, in your truck, so that you can go support those people who can't buy our equipment or aren't going to.
Yeah. And so what kind of equipment does the industry buy from you versus the government, for example? Is it all virtually the same
It's
stuff?
all virtually the same stuff. Yeah, it's all driven by what the industry is looking for, but
Okay.
all of it basically the same stuff. Yep.
Okay. So you lead this company. What are you seeing in the horizon? What's unfolding for you?
Oh,
What's
great question.
What's coming? Not necessarily next year, but 3 to 5 years out. What are you seeing as sort of the evolving trend or opportunity? And I'll just give context because this is about you. But I've seen over the last couple of years in iSigma, I feel like the industry has bent towards ITAD, right? Like
Yeah.
it used to be shred trucks and shelves and things like that. The merger happened 7 years ago now, I think. And in the last few years, I feel like the whole industry has leaned the trucks. When you walk around the truck lot, you get trucks that are ITAD-E that never were here before. So, I mean, I see that evolution in the industry, but you're at a different level in the industry in terms of just your perspective and what you see. What are you seeing, not 2 years out, but 5 years out? What are you guys thinking about where the future's going?
I think the standards are going to change. Well, I know they're going to change because we're working on it. There's a couple employees, myself and my colleague, that are part of security working groups, IEEE security working group, and we're helping to write standards, whether it's the IEEE standard or NIST, to help advocate for the different types of sanitization to include more destruction, more degaussing, more things that we do in a more clear way so that industry can follow them easier. So I think that, yes, there's more ITAD, there's more, everybody's upgrading all of their devices every day faster than before.
Right.
So there's going to be more need for us. The keynote talking about the data centers, right? There's more need for us, and everybody needs to be aware and follow the same standards because the standards right now are still very confusing and kind of all over the place.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that the future has a clarity in standards.
Right. So the challenge is that the standards that are out there, both government standards and business corporate standards, are
Industry.
Yep. Are fuzzy. What's the challenge?
Yeah, that they're not clear. Yep.
Okay.
Fuzzy's a good word. I like that. They're fuzzy.
Okay.
They're fuzzy. Some of them are old. Some of them
Right.
just need to be updated with the latest technology. There's a lot of updates that need to be made.
Yeah. So as you sit in these environments, what's in terms of updating those kind of standards, what are you pushing? What's clarity mean versus fuzzy? Like what's what is that? Like, what are you trying to get this thing to be?
Clearer language for sure,
Okay.
and then just clearer parameters. I was having a conversation today that one standard says this shred size, another one says this shred size. One doesn't say shredding at all, which is true, and another says disintegrate. So standards in the language and the types of technology and the techniques to make it more clear. Some are so old they don't even have degaussing as destruction, which it is. It's no longer purge, because when it was purged, that was for analog. Yes, you could purge analog VHS, right, and reuse it. Nobody has analog VHS anymore.
Right.
All of today's computers, magnetic media is digital. So once you degauss it, you cannot reuse it. It's done. So it's a destruct technology. All of the national security agencies stuff is destruct. And so that needs to be updated in the language, because it's old. That's old. That was true at one time. Yeah. It's just not true today.
Interesting. So are you creating new technology? Like, are you creating new equipment, or is the equipment you have do you for the next couple of years? Or are you building new high-tech, whatever that means, new machines to do new work now?
Absolutely. Okay. Especially on the magnetic side. There's advancements in magnetic hard drives that are coming out that our degaussers may not be able to do. So we're always working on the new technology. Yep.
And how many people work for you?
There are 37 total full-time employees.
Really?
Yep.
And so are you actually doing your own manufacturing?
Yeah.
Like, you do the full...
We do it all. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I've got 2 engineers here with me this week and 1 salesperson. But at home, we've got 7 engineers, 7 salespeople, 14 in manufacturing, a handful in admin. So, yeah. So one of the engineers, I was on this, we're working on a new degausser, and he was telling me about what he blew up in the lab before he left on Thursday. And so, yes, we're always working on advancements in technology to keep up with. We go to all of the science out there, all of the conferences that help us stay up in technology. We know what the hard drives are going to be before they're out in the market, so that we have a degausser that can take care of it, or a disintegrator, or a hard drive shredder, or whatever it is. So our mantra is to have a product that meets the National Security Agency's standards and specifications for whatever the latest technology is. And we have not failed that yet. Wow.
That is really cool. So that particular niche, niche, I don't know which way you say it. But that knowing the NSA standard, then, or at least what's coming, gives you advance warning of what the world looks like, what it's going to look like, and then you're building equipment to support that. And then why you're a rock star in this industry is because you come back and tell us what's going on.
That's what we try to do.
Yeah.
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 Well, thank you for the rock star, though. That's very kind.
No, but everybody knows you're a rock star. So what excites you right now? What makes you really excited about the work you're doing? Is there a part of it, or is it just old hat now and you're just bigger, better, whatever? No, or is there something in under the hood that you are really passionate about and excited about?
All the people, all of my friends here, and helping everybody. We don't always get a direct reward for being here or direct sales. Right. That's the word, Right. We don't always get a lot of sales from being here, but I love helping everybody be better at their business or learn something new. Even if it's just to help with one quote, one RFP, maybe you don't get it, maybe you do. We're here to help. We love the connections. We love the people. And that's why I accepted 3 speeches, because I do like to do them. Yeah. And I get a lot of good, I know I'm helping.
Yeah. So, but one of your speeches, I looked through all of the stuff, and 2 of them are kind of what you talked about, is this industry standard stuff. And then there's this other one. So I want to kind of double click on the other one. So tell me about this. Is that tomorrow?
It's tomorrow morning. Yeah, at 8 a.m. Because who's gonna?
nobody is listening to this from who's here.
Right.
Nobody's. So we've got this moment for you to tell me what you're talking about tomorrow. Can you kind of give me the lowdown?
Yeah. Well, I'll give you the full story. So I had actually Nate had called me and said, So I had submitted 2 because you get to submit 2. And I'd submitted one on powerful leadership, but it was about women needing women, like women need other women. And when he called me and he said, I really want you to do 3. I want you to do the ITAD one. I want you to do, but I want you to do a regulations piece because that was missing. And I hadn't submitted it. He's like, you're the best person.
Right.
Well, thank you. And he said, but I want you to do leadership, but I want it to be inclusive. I don't want it to be just a woman's only room. So he sent that like challenge to me. So okay, thought about it, hung up the phone, thought about it, had to process through. I'm like, okay. So I came up with Powerful Leadership Needs No Gender. I can't remember the title, but basically how everybody can learn from today's powerful women in leadership. And it's not a woman's thing. It's not a feminine thing. Everybody can do these skills that women bring to the table and make us better leaders. And so I'm bringing to the table the 3 things that I see, and I did a bunch of research, and I'm quoting a bunch of really cool women that I do not know. I would love to meet one of them, any one of them, famous women that, and the things that they taught me in my research of them and how we can all be that way, but bringing my own stories to the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be fun.
So what was the thing when you were prepping that made you go, oh, that's cool? When did you get a light bulb moment?
Prepping for that one?
Yeah, well, as you're prepping for it and as you're thinking through all that stuff, when did you get this moment where you went, oh, I see what I've done, or I see how I've done something, where it just, all of a sudden you went, it connected?
It was truly, I was like, oh, okay, so I looked this up. Well, I do that. And then I kind of wrote, well, that's how I do that. And it was through the whole thing. And I was like, oh, maybe I am a good leader.
Yeah.
Kind of validating, but I didn't do that on purpose.
Right.
So that was a fun thing to see.
There's something really cool about putting a presentation together when the thing you're talking about weirdly resonates in you. There's the technical talks where you really know it, right? And then there's these other ones that are, I don't know, I call them esoteric. They're not, and then as you're doing it, I find this for myself all the time, is like you get in there and all of a sudden you go, oh, that's really interesting. And it like you said, it validates this historical thing that's happened, or it validates the way you've looked at something. Because now you're researching and you're trying to give it to somebody else. That's the whole point of speaking. We're giving it away.
Yeah.
And somewhere in there you go, yes, that's so cool.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
Yesterday in the one I did, and I don't want to talk, but like just contextually, when I think I said it in the presentation yesterday, when I got that line, it finally hit me, that line, don't make yesterday's
that was a good one.
judgment tomorrow's prison.
Yes.
And I went, yes, there's something so cool about when you just grab a concept like that resonates in you. And I think the thing is we're doing it for other people, but so often it becomes this thing for ourselves that, adds confidence, adds a perspective or a way of structuring something in your head.
Yeah. Your presentation, by the way, yesterday was fantastic.
No,
I loved
thank you.
watching it, and I learned so much from it.
Thank you.
That was great. And that was one of the quotes that I was like, yes. And your story was a really good example.
Thank you. Yeah, I think so often, and I know you do this, and I know that's why you get asked back, and I've watched you for many years do this, is you often come and you give freely, right? And you don't often, what appears like you don't get much back, but what do you get back from all this? Like, in a real, honest, vulnerable way, what do you get back from all
The
this?
friendships.
Yeah.
No, I know I'm repeating myself, but I don't have a better answer. It's true. I truly love all the interactions that I get. And I love all the text messages later and the LinkedIn comments. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love the people.
Yeah, and that's something really cool about this industry, and I talk about it regularly, is really big industries, you find it really hard to make these kind of friendships, but in small industries, and this is a small industry.
It is, yep.
But there's something really vibrant about a small industry because you see people, you get to know people, and there's this deeper connection that seems to form because you're not in a room of 10,000 people, you're in a room of 300, 400.
It is, and it's so much easier to actually do the presentations rather than I was part of a keynote at a conference that had 6,000 people. That was I was like, if I can do anything in front of 6,000 people, I can do. But it's so much easier when you're friends with everybody in the room.
Yeah, and you
So
know
much
their
easier.
stories, and you know
Yeah.
their,
Yep.
you know where they live, and you've seen them over 10 years, and that's what I love about doing it. It's because like I know these people, I know where
Yeah.
they live and
We're all
what they do,
friends.
and we have friendships, and yeah, it makes it really cool. What is the thing that not about the industry so much, but about the greater context that either freaks you out, scares you, or gives you incredible hope? About I mean, we've heard talks about AI, and we've heard, the world seems to be changing, and your business, I think, is uniquely positioned to benefit from it in many ways. But what kind of concerns you right now? What worries you?
Well, I would say that whether it's the rise in data centers because of AI or just all the data everywhere, that you don't always know where your data is.
Yeah.
Even me, right?
Yeah.
I know most of my places, but we use Dropbox. We use, I don't know what they're doing with it, and that still freaks me out.
Yeah.
And I know better.
Right. Right.
So
yeah, you're like an insider.
You're
like
am,
a deep
and
insider,
I know
and you still
better,
go, I
and
don't know
I
what the heck.
still use these things, on my personal information. Nothing for our work stuff, but not our AP. But yeah, and it still freaks me out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then you layer in what's happening now, where you're actually feeding it information to try and get
Right.
perspective, or,
Yep.
and yeah, then you go, who knows?
right, I
Who
don't know
knows?
where that's going to end
Yeah,
up.
it's crazy.
Yeah. And
So-
apparently, we're all going to look like robots, or robots are going to look
No,
like us.
we are going to be robots. You're basically you're just going to have robots at your factory soon.
Yeah,
and you don't ever have to pay them.
That's what I was asked by my two engineers. At what point are you replacing me? Can you tell me?
Right, tell me now.
upfront? Yeah. Wheel.
So, what advice would you give someone who wants to be a part of this industry? Let's say they want to come in and they realize that maybe the paper business is sort of peaking out, and there's still paper, but it's changing. But they want to come into this industry. They want to be a service provider. What advice would you give them?
Do a business plan. I believe in those, to do some research and figure it out. But for the most part, you don't have to jump all in. You can do it slowly. You can figure out what services you're going to provide. But everyone needs data destruction. I mean, that was my presentation today. Every single regulation out there, every single rule, every data privacy, there's 144 of them around the world that says that we have to destroy the data. So it's written requirements that every single entity out there needs to do it. Now, that doesn't mean they know they need to do it. So you have to educate them. There is a huge market out there to get into destroying data. And there's so much you can do with it to earn money off of that, whether in the ITAD world, you can, with the collection, you can charge.
Yep.
With the destruction, you can charge. You can recycle it and earn money that way, or work with a recycling partner either way, refurbishing or recycling. There's so much market out there and revenue options that it gets overwhelming. I know people are like, where do I start? Just start somewhere. Just do something.
But the challenge I see, and I have conversations about, is especially in this world, it feels like it's a relatively easy access point, right? So, and then you have sort of the big generic ITAD buyers who just buy everything, right? They,
Yep.
And they just give it, they take it for free, and they're not protecting it. And so it's a really hard place to go into when there's this over here and you feel like I got to fight that.
Right.
So because you have an inside view of NSA kind of thinking, how do you position yourself in this side, sort of this high data security side? How do you position yourself in that way versus just trying to live by the mass sort of recycler group?
I think you got to raise the risk. You got to raise that scare just a little bit, right? Like, I'm naturally scared because of what I know about my data, like I just said, right? You have to find those stories, find those quips that you can use to educate whatever market you're going after, and make yourself stand out as the expert that's going to protect them and give them that relief of protection. And that's how you would stand out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But mine is only an opinion.
No, but it's a really informed opinion. So you said personally, Dropbox, different things like that. So, but you also indicated that you have a different way of thinking about it internally. Mm-hmm. So how do you think about data internally, because you understand so implicitly the risk associated with data being out there? How do you guys deal with it internally without giving away more your thinking about it? How do you think about it to protect your company?
We have a hard line in the sand about where we use the cloud and where we don't, basically.
Really?
So we have our own servers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that also comes with being a government contractor.
Right.
We have to comply with a whole bunch of rules, and sometimes it's just easier to keep it in-house and not comply with all those rules.
Got it.
Because we don't have to, and we're not processing classified information. We're
Right.
just selling to the government, but we have to follow a lot of the same rules that people who are processing classified information do. So it's just easier, but it also it's better protected when you keep your IP in-house. And our IP is our design stuff, our customer information,
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So I feel a slight level of jealousy, I have to say, because you have done so many cool things for this community, and I'm slightly jealous because your rock star status really precedes you, and
Yeah, I'm gonna have a big head. You're making me. That's very kind.
I don't know if you've been told enough how grateful this world is to you for what you do.
I have not. That is
Yes.
so sweet.
So, because I've been in the industry a lot of years, and I've watched and observed and watched people who are part of this community, and you have shown up and just given. Like, you just keep giving and giving and giving and giving. And I know, this year 3 presentations, but that's not all you do. I know you do way more. But I just think it's important for you to hear from me on behalf of the community how cool you are and what a rock star, and thank you for all of the amazing work you do. And we're very grateful.
You just made my day, my month, my year.
Good. Well, thank you. And thank you for telling us about your life and your story and all you do. And it's been delightful to have you here.
Thank you.